Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. In our first story, we meet a very entitled woman who demands special treatment and clearly missed the day magnets were explained in school. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Lady expects me to change the laws of physics so she can advertise for free. So a bit of background info. I work in a Toko Indonesian convenience store, often alone on the sales floor while someone is working in the back restocking. Do this basically full-time, so I know who visits regularly. The front of the shop is basically a long glass window with a door on one side and my register right next to it. Next to the register is a long aisle that goes all the way to the back of the store, which holds basically all the fresh and refrigerated products. So in this aisle, we have some big fridges and freezers, and we allow locals to advertise on them for free when they bring their posters in using magnets we have available in a small basket on the counter. The counter's pretty big, and it's at the far end of it. Most of our customers are regulars and often nice to have when they stop by, so I don't mind doing something back for them. Note that the posters people put up on the fridge are clearly visible to everyone visiting the shop, as it's near to the entrance and the start of the aisle. Usually these people come in, ask if they can put up their poster, and they put it up on the fridge. Easy, right? Now on to the story. I will be me, and Poster Lady will be PL. Poster Lady walks into the store, hastily looking around with multiple printed posters in hand, all wrinkled as crap. At this point, I know she's probably not going to buy anything and just wants her share of free advertising. Me. G'day, ma'am. How can I help you? PL. Where can I put up my poster? Me. Excuse me? PL. We're having a charity sale and I need to put up this poster. Me. I'm sorry, we usually only allow our regular customers to put up their posters in our store as a way of thanking them for coming to our store. PL. So where do I put it up? Me. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen you at PL. I know your colleague and he told me I could put it up. Me. Madam, I'm the only one here who allows people to put up their posters. PL. Come on, it's for charity. You'll help us, won't you? At this point, I've already had multiple customers come through and give me a hard time, and I haven't had my break yet, so I give in to the it's for charity thing. Me. All right, fine, you can put it up, just take PL. So where's the tape? Me. Sorry, I don't have any tape. PL. Then how do I put it up? This lady's going around putting up her posters while not bringing any tape, expecting me to have some ready for her? Me. Look, we have some magnets over there, pointing to basket. You can take some from there and put your poster up on the fridge. As I'm saying this, she starts walking down the aisle, straight past the basket of magnets. Me. Madam? Ignores me and keeps walking. Me. Louder this time. Madam, the magnets are over here. Proceeds to the back of the aisle, now frustrated, and starts walking back towards me. Me. They're in the back. She rips a magnet off the fridge, leaving a poster on there hanging sideways. Me proceeds to take said magnet towards the front of the shop, presses her poster against the glass, slaps the magnet on there. I stand in awe as said magnet as well as her poster falls towards the ground. Me. Madam, magnets don't work on glass. She left the store without saying a word, not before giving me a glare of pure hatred as I wasn't able to change the laws of physics for her, nor compensate for her lack of understanding said laws. Had to take my break to process all of this. I swear, some customers seem to genuinely believe retail workers control the very laws of physics. I loved your patience here. I would have cracked up laughing watching her slap a magnet on a glass window and look shocked when it fell. It's the perfect combo of entitlement and cluelessness. Peak Karen behavior. Glad you got that break afterward. You definitely deserved it after dealing with that nonsense. And our second story. Restaurant holds my employee hostage because they can't print the bill. I end up fixing their entire billing system. Background story. This happened nearly a decade ago. I was working at a startup e-commerce venture. We were a small team, and it was my job to put in the processes and train the staff. Every month, I would work on one department and document the IT, reporting, and other processes they need to follow, train them, and identify the person who could lead the team. It was my practice to invite the most promising employees and take them out for either drinks or a meal and get to know them better before coming to a decision. There were several restaurants and bars near our office, one of which I never patronized as it was too upscale. One day I noticed that one of the girls I was keen to promote as a team lead for the customer support team was about to have a meltdown at work. I quickly pulled her off the floor immediately and took her to this upscale place, both to let her feel that she was valued, as well as get a bit of privacy so I could understand all her issues. The incident. We had what could be called a high tea and were ready to leave when one of the servers requested if we could wait for a few minutes before they bring the bill to us. I had a meeting with one of the directors, so I left my company card with this girl, asked her to settle the bill, and rejoin her team after clearing the bill. My meeting went on for half an hour, and when I went to get my card back, the girl had not returned to work. I feared that she might have tried to run away with the card or something, so I quickly rushed to the restaurant, only to find her still waiting for the mysterious bill. I lost my cool and threatened the manager that they could not keep a patron waiting, and I was going to call the cops on them for not letting the girl leave while not presenting the bill at the same time. Till this time, the staff was trying to avoid presenting the bill. Now they admitted the software that they had ran had been upgraded that day, and none of them could make it work. They were waiting for someone from the IT team to come and update them. In the meantime, they didn't think of putting the close sign because no customers came in at that time of the day. It was amusing, to say the least, and I didn't want the poor staff to pay out of their pockets for our meal. I don't know what came over me, and I asked them to show me the system. I was used to setting up systems, and in short order figured out where they were messing up, and took the notepad the servers used to take orders and wrote step-by-step instructions for them and printed the bill for my own meal. Then I taught them to link the card machine to their system, printed my own bill, and swiped my card. By this time, the news that I was setting up the billing system for the restaurant had spread like wildfire in our office, as I had asked my colleague to go back to her station and she couldn't keep this juicy tale to herself. The fallout. When I was done, I saw the director of my company waiting for me. He was negotiating with the restaurant chain for hiring out my services to them. I was only thankful no one got fired in this whole fiasco. Most people would have probably flipped a table rather than calmly teaching staff how to use their software. Your patience likely saved their jobs that day. Hopefully your colleague appreciated not being left behind as collateral. And our last story. Aggressive neighbor thought he owned the neighborhood, learns a harsh lesson. When we first moved into our neighborhood, everything seemed peaceful and picture perfect until we met Barry, the neighbor directly next door. Barely 2 days after unpacking, a gentle knock at our door brought unexpected news. Two of our other neighbors, Jim and Diane, stood there looking apologetic and slightly uncomfortable. "Hi there," Jim began awkwardly, shifting from one foot to another. "We hate to be the bearers of bad news, especially since you're new and all, but your neighbor Barry, the guy next door, has a bit of a reputation." Diane nodded sympathetically. "He's shifted property lines before, like literally moved boundary markers in the dark when no one's around?" I raised my eyebrows in disbelief, thinking perhaps this was some weird neighborhood prank, but their expressions were serious. That evening, curious and somewhat skeptical, I carefully approached Barry's house, hoping for a simple misunderstanding that could be solved with friendly conversation. Barry, a gruff, middle-aged man known for his sharp temper and permanent scowl, was tinkering with something in his driveway. I greeted him calmly and politely. "Hey, Barry," I said lightly, "a couple neighbors mentioned you moved the property line between our houses while our place was empty. Just wanted to clarify what's going on there." Instantly, Barry's eyes narrowed defensively. He tossed his tools aside and stood up, puffing his chest out like an angry rooster. "You accusing me of something?" he snapped, voice dripping with hostility. "Mind your own business. I lived here 15 years. I don't need some nosy newcomers telling me what I can and can't do." Caught off guard by his aggression, I backed away, realizing quickly there was no reasoning with him. Fast forward a year. Our relationship with Barry was nothing more than frosty nods from across the yard. My wife and I had bonded closely with another couple, Chris and Sarah, who lived on Barry's other side. They were friendly, easygoing people, the complete opposite of Barry and his notoriously unpleasant girlfriend, Brenda. One afternoon, Chris knocked frantically on our door, visibly upset. "You won't believe this," he said, exasperated. Barry just moved our boundary markers. He's claiming a good chunk of our side yard's now his. Brenda even threatened legal action if we fight them. My wife and I exchanged knowing looks, and without hesitation, we assured Chris and Sarah that we had their backs. When Barry found out we were supporting Chris and Sarah, he exploded. "You two'd better mind your own business," he shouted from his driveway, face reddened with anger. "You're making enemies here you don't want." The very next morning, we awoke to find Barry had escalated things drastically. A fluorescent orange spray-painted line now sliced across our driveway entrance. A note stuck to our windshield read, "This driveway is now my property. Do not cross this line." That evening, things reached a boiling point. Barry parked his rusted pickup truck right at the mouth of our driveway, intentionally blocking our vehicles from getting out. My patience finally snapped. Calmly but firmly, I called the police. When they arrived, the officers immediately recognized Barry's antics. After consulting property records, they sternly informed Barry he was entirely in the wrong and ordered him to move his vehicle immediately. Barry sputtered indignantly, "I've lived here longer than all of you. This whole neighborhood's against me." At that, I finally turned to him and his obnoxious girlfriend and said something I'd been holding back for months. "You know, Barry, if everyone around you seems like an a-hole, maybe it's time to consider that you're the actual a-hole here." Barry's eyes widened in disbelief while Brenda's mouth dropped open, utterly speechless for the first time since we'd met. The officer nearby suppressed a smile. Within weeks, a for sale sign appeared in front of Barry's house. Peace was restored. Chris, Sarah, Jim, Diane, and my family celebrated with a neighborhood barbecue. Everyone relieved that our little corner of the world had returned to normal, and the local property lines were finally safe from Barry and Brenda's reign of chaos. Wow, Barry really embodies the phrase, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." I loved how OP handled this entire fiasco. Patience of a saint. Barry and Brenda's shocked faces must have been priceless when they realized they couldn't strong-arm their neighbors after all. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing bullies get a dose of reality, especially when served with a side of embarrassment in front of the cops. Glad peace returned to your neighborhood and you got the happy ending you deserved. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.